Dear Lord Borough Sioux Tribal Council, I'm writing to request that the rate for Range Unit 4 that I and several family members lease be lowered to the normal tribal rate. We have been leasing Range Unit number 4 since the fall of 2018. At that time, we bid $45 in AUM for the remaining 4 years of a 10-year lease that was originally held by Clarence Thompson Jr., who passed away in the middle of the lease period. At the time, we were told by the BIA that because we were only bidding on the last 4 years of a 10-year lease, that the rate would go down to the regular tribal rate when the lease would be up for renewal in 2023. However, I recently learned that a few months ago, the Tribal Council renewed our lease at our current rate and not the regular tribal rate as we were once told. Since 2018, we've paid the tribe $391,005.60. That amount is more than many permittees pay in 20 years. The reason we bid the range unit so high was because at the time we subleased the entire range unit for the exact amount of the lease. In other words, every penny we made from subleasing passed directly to the tribe. However, in 2019, the rancher we had been working with decided not to sublease the range unit again. And as a family, we decided to take out loans and buy cows and use the range unit as it's intended. Since 2019, 100% of the cows in the range unit are owned by those of us who are on the lease. We do not sublease. And every year we have lost money because of the high lease rate. But we were willing to lose money for a few years because we believed our lease rate would go down in 2023. In the past 3 years, we made several improvements to improve the condition of the range unit. We've added 3 cross fences that total over 6 miles of fence. We've added a 2-mile-long water line and installed 6 water tanks. We've cut several acres of invasive eastern red cedar, and we're rotationally grazing to improve range and soil health.
Was this that section that Todd was bidding for too?
Yes.
Was that the one that he wasn't gonna let you guys cross or something?
Well, it's the other way. It's landlocked by private land.
Yeah.
And he asked if he were to have the lease, we would let him cross our land.
Most of your family members are on this lease.
I'm primary, Travis Thompson, Sheldon Fletcher, and Sage Fletcher.
I thought subleasing was legal. They said they're not subleasing.
In the letter, he says we do not sublease.
What would the rate be down to?
Yesterday, Randy Seiler said that he was talking about the leasing rates that we have and they have not been adjusted for quite some time. And that he was gonna look into the current market rate, I think he said, of what the leasing value should be or whatever. So I mean, I think that should just coincide with whatever he comes up with.
It does. Is this the one that was like 103,000 a year?
97,000 a year.
97,000 a year, okay.
Yep. It was, but what, we didn't get a chance to negotiate it. It was renewed. As far as, that's what I've heard, that it was renewed with several others.
Yeah, was that in September meeting?
This September meeting?
No, our first one. I think we had 2 in September maybe.
But I mean, this year though?
Yep.
Oh, so you already renegotiated your lease this year already?
We did not negotiate.
James,
Oh, you just renewed it? I
Christie,
mean.
you want to go up
He
and
did not.
explain how the leases work?
Without our-
You're saying no, but that's your job as BIA to explain how the leases work.
That's a range permit?
Yeah.
A range.
Okay, so we need a definition of what's the difference between a lease and a range permit. Can you guys give that at least?
I don't know. Our contracts are locked in for X amount of years.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
Our contracts that are locked into X amount.
And the councils in the past have been 10-year leases, correct?
There is 5 to 10.
Okay.
I think what you guys renewed was 10.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Range permit, that's not an lease.
Right, sorry, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology. I'm talking about the range unit.
But what is his then, a range permit or a lease? It's a lease, right? The range permit?
It's a permit, I guess. It's semantic. I mean,
What's your explanation on all this, James?
Oh, when it was, we put it out to bid, we, had it
18.
also here.
I remember that.
Saying.
And for clarification, I'm not trying to piss anybody off here, but I'm gonna state the facts. You threw the high bid in to outbid anybody that was trying to go for the same piece of agricultural or range or pasture land everybody else was, right? Correct? That's your guys' deal. So there was 4 years left of the 10-year lease. So now you're asking to lower that bid price you guys shot out there at the current fair market value rate that is set within them, to bring the cost of your annual lease payment due, correct? Or range permit, or whatever the legal definition is from BIA.
Correct. Because at the time, we were told that we were just bidding on the tail end of a 10-year lease, and it would go down when it was renewed. But from my understanding, when you guys renewed it, you guys kept it at the same rate.
But did you say it was, and did you say it was already at the current rate?
Well, with what Clyde just said, it changed.
Yeah, if
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. What's the difference between, the set rates for leasing and then bidding? And so they get to bid on it rather than.
Yes, so if, say some individual or leasee, Cody is a leasee, he should know more about this than I do. I don't have any tribal leases, but I'll explain it the best way I know. I'm no land expert here, I'm doing the best I can. But when a tribal member wants to lease a part of land, the tribe, which has way before I was ever here, bid process, correct? Sean's kind of a land expert in a sense, so he should know this as well. Maybe he can explain it better than I can. They have a bid process to open up bidders to lease this tribal land, and it's been the practice of the tribe since I came on in 2016 that the tribe would always go with the highest bidder to bring the higher return to the tribe as a lease income. Correct me if I'm wrong, so.
Well, for years, nobody ever bid on leases. The tribe just decided who would get it. And when my Uncle Junior passed away, the council, which was pretty rare at the time, put it up for bid. So there have been very few times when the tribe has put a range unit up for bid. It's usually just decided, discussed.
is that right?
And see, this is why I'm asking the BIA. I mean, please work with us here. Your job is to provide technical assistance to the tribe as you help us manage our leases. That's why I asked for that definition between the range, a lease, allotted, fee, and what was the standard practice? You guys have been here, working here longer than I have, or the Bureau working with the tribe on leases.
Previous lessee passed away,
Yeah.
so it was open, and the way to get another lessee in was to basically bid, do a bid on it, and we had quite a few people bid on that land, and the tribe, we brought it to the tribe, and they decided who would get the lease. And it was Mr. Grassley.
And
So technically with what Sean's bringing to the table, what he's asking for to go back to, as it states in the letter, at the time we were told by the BIA that because we were only bidding on the last 4 years of a 10-year lease, that the rate would go down to the regular tribal rate when the lease would be up for renewal in 2023. However, I recently learned that a few months ago, the tribal council renewed our lease at the current rate, not the regular tribal rate as we were told. So between us and the tribe, and I remember John made the motion to renew them all at the same rate, right? You remember that? Yeah. So, and we would, I don't know how you go back in and do that because John is no longer a council member.
You would just make a motion.
Oh, what I don't, we have to, maybe we're gonna have to meet with, our tribal attorney on this as well. I'm gonna bring up an example what happened to me before. And I'm not trying to knock anybody down or be disrespectful, but I think you guys need to hear this because you're council members now. I made a motion one time, or not a motion, but I voted for something. And I tried to rescind my vote, and they said that how you do that is the motioner and seconder have to allow you to rescind your vote. And they would not do that. So my vote had to stay as is. So I don't know how that works now with council member that made that motion and second, like I said, whether or not that was the way they did, that's what happened to me in my first term. So, but like I said, with Randy here, and that's why I said I'm trying to find this out and ask the BIA for the help on this subject, but.
Mr. Tubal, so ultimately, it's our decision if we want to lower it for him. This council could change it, right?
Yeah, we're not, I don't think we're bound
Yeah.
by any previous council action or.
Yeah, just have to bring it back to
Correct.
this council.
Well, the thing is too, and you have to remember,
Were those leases voted on as a block?
it was by the whole council.
I mean, but
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it was a
I
block
don't
lease.
understand how his lease is renewed though without their input or their involvement in it.
Because I'm thinking if they didn't have any objections to wanting to renew, they would have wrote something in writing. I don't know if that's how the process goes,
Send a letter,
that they don't want to renew.
lease.
Yeah.
But he says it wasn't until 2023, it ain't even 2023
Received
yet,
the
so
letter.
why was it?
No, you submit the letter, when your contract's expiring.
But we don't know when they're gonna vote on it. My lease expires at the end of next month. I didn't know that they're gonna vote on the price of it in February or March or.
Excuse me real quick, because wasn't it you guys that brought that down in your packet to renew those, where you had those expiring leases and something needed to be done before they expired and if nobody sent in a letter, then the council just took it.
You notice it's sent out.
Did you get your 90-day notice?
We never had our notice. We received a notice that our lease was up for renewal? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we sent them out. We do a mass mailing.
I seen them go to the post office, no. I can vouch for that one, I seen them all go out in a big, like, you guys did like 3 or 4, like, I remember that.
Yep.
You would have noticed.
I was sitting here when the action to have, Don Colley, he kind of more or less offered to, talk to these people that had to renew their leases and all, like, I'll talk to them, he said. But I thought that was conflict of interest because he's a leaser too, and to lump everything together, every lease together and have one man take care of it, I don't think that's right. Every lease should be dealt with separately because there's probably different conditions, stipulations to each lease. I mean, and then you got fair market value that Siler was talking about, according to grazing land and farmland. And I don't know about irrigation land, I don't know if that's, but there's different issues. So I think what was discussed is looking at all of that fair market value.
Make a motion to put his back down?
No, we need to table this real quick and refer back to our tribal attorney and going back to that meeting to find all of that information. And go back and look at that. My thing is with this, we do this for one person, we gotta do it for everybody.
There's not very
I'm
many.
not saying what happened to you isn't right or wrong or anything. I just want to make sure we're being fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cause it sounds to me like,
And without the proper guidance, that's what we pay Mr. Seiler for. And then also, and whatever she brought up, the fact that since I've been in office, there's been very few they've ever did individually. It's usually like if, the biggest problem that we've ever had is people not paying their leases on time, which is only a handful, and I don't remember you ever, maybe you asked for it deferred once before,
No.
maybe, I don't know. But, so, I don't know, how do you guys feel? It's your council members too, so you need to wait
Personally, I
on
have no
this.
problem with, his request.
I have no problem with the request, but like you said, we just need to cover our bases with Randy Seiler and see how that is. But like she's saying too, it shouldn't have been a whole, like to me, it sounded like John McCauley was doing something, included everybody else with him just to justify the.
No, I don't take it that way. It was just, I think that's, since I've been on council, that's kind of how they did it, unless it was an individual one, like in your situation. I remember that was you, Mo, and, who else was with you guys?
Sheldon and Sage.
Sheldon.
I have to go. I've got a 3 o'clock.
But I hope you
That's
understand.
all. I gotta go to my car and take.
I think what Councilman.
Bring Sean.
Thanks, Sean. He was reaching out to those SEs that failed to pay on time, and he was reaching out. to-
Yeah, because it was, I can't state his name because it's not fair to him, he's not in the room. I think you all know who I'm talking about. I mean, those that have been on council before, so. That's what I remember as well. There was only a few of them, so. But,
Yeah, we do have, don't pay leases on time every year.
What's the BIA's take on subleasing? Is that allowable?
It's, I believe it's allowable to a point, what you want to do is show that, the SE is building his own herd. And I believe that cutoff is 75% or so. And every year that percentage should be moving up to where you're not subleasing anymore.
I remember,
So you could turn it over to the subleaser?
No, that's why we have grazing permits. We go in and,
I hope not. Not tribal land.
that's the tribe discretion there. I mean, we've been just doing what the tribe.
I thought that was BIA rule where.
The CFR says it's okay, which is what their rule is, but then it's the tribe's responsibility to work that out as to how they want that subleasing to go. Because like you said, if you're working towards building a herd and subleasing helps you out to a certain point, then you can do it, but only under a policy that the tribe develops.
And to clarify this real quick, Christie might have a better memory than me, or maybe James. I don't remember if it was my first term or second in 2016 or the 2018 term when we passed, when Boyd wanted to do a cattle tax on people that were subleasing, $7 per head. So that means per cow, calf, whatever. And the whole idea, our concept was behind that was to get them to try to work on managing their own cows and calves on their lease land instead of subleasing it out. And that's where when I would get on Sean, he's not here no more, but to say, have you been doing those lease compliance checks to check all those cows out there to make sure those are those leasees' cows and not somebody else's cows? Because if nobody's doing those checks, where's our $7 per head going? And I still haven't ever really, I think he only gave us maybe one paper with the printout of this is the money that was getting back to the tribe, but.
That was just an example.
Yeah.
We have been, we don't collect.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you guys say, this is how many cows, so you owe this to the tribe, right? So, and I'm not trying to harp on you guys, but like I said, this is more of your expertise with the Bureau, trying to help the tribe with this. So that's why I've been advocating, and whether or not this gentleman that just left is the right person for the job or not, we need our own tribal land department to do these checks to assist the Bureau. So we know we have somebody on the tribal side that's looking out for the tribal interest. It's to make sure there's no funky business going on and our lands are being cared for and we stop the abuse of our lands, so.
So there is a cow tax though?
Yep, called a, what do you call it? Cattle tax, I think it was called, right?
Yeah, per AUM, I think
Yeah.
it's $7
A head, $7 a head if I remember right. Yes, ma'am.
But it's the enforcement of that.
Yep.
Okay, I wanna ask Mr. Trubus here, is subleasing illegal or not? Because from my information, because you guys been talking, oh, there's subleasing. And from my information, from all the news I've been, it's subleasing is illegal. So why are we talking about subleasing like it's just okay and normal? Because it's illegal.
Didn't he just say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, he said it's okay in the CFR, but we have to regulate it?
Yes.
I thought it was not allowable to sublease, but it's accepted because almost everybody does it.
See,
And that's what we're formulating right now with what he said about Randy yesterday, is we're coming to the point where these leases are starting to be renewed. And so we're looking a little bit closer at it. But Randy, again, we haven't sat down to look at it. But that report will come in as well on just that. But the subleasing, again, is in the CFR from what I remember. And I do remember seeing it. It is okay. It's what you want to do with it after, based on you trying to enhance your folks, local folks, to get into ranching or farming. Is that correct?
Correct.
Maybe provide that information to the council?
Yes,
They don't know.
absolutely.
Chair, I know, we had a problem with subleasing when I was on the council, and Boyd Gorno was a member then too, and at that time, he was against subleasing, and he was telling me that it was illegal, or that the way they were doing it, he said, they're profiting a lot of money that the people don't know about. So he was trying to get me to hold on him to, manage that better or something where it would profit the tribe. And so since then, you know, and Dwayne's done a lot of research, so I kind of know about cow calf units and stuff, and you could only have so many on a unit or whatever. When you bring in the subleasing other people's cows, was driving towards here. On this side, the land, there was like three of those big stock trailers, and they was unloading all these cows. Okay, so then you look at, geez, that's a lot of cows. So then the next day we drive up there, there's all these cows on just a little piece of land. To me, that's overgrazing. You could go into the issues of overgrazing, you know, no management, no oversight, and we look into the profit. We're not getting any profit off of that. So leasing the rancher is bringing in these cows at the top rate. They're probably getting like $40 a head or something. And you guys are talking about they're paying you $7 for whatever. They're getting a high profit, and that's fine and well and everything. But the thing is, they're using our land and they're destroying our land. They're overgrazing our land. And work here, all of that rangeland is ruined. It's overgrazed. So I think I would like to see the Bureau meet with you guys, because you guys are new counsel to this, and Clyde has been there, but I don't know if he's asking questions. So I think you guys should have a meeting with the Bureau and, you know, informational about leasing, subleases. And one of the things that I don't like is that when a leasee passes away, it does not automatically go to their heirs. It goes back to the tribe. That's tribal land, you know. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but my grandmother's told me no, it doesn't go to the heirs. It goes because it's tribal land. So, but that's an issue too. Maybe during the meeting discussions that should be brought up too.
Yeah, and it's free grazing, so if somebody happens to run over one of those cows and it's our fault and we have to pay for it, that's not right. Like, the cows have more rights than we do right now. I mean, it's just like, you know,
What if other tribal member wanted the opportunity to lease that land, had an interest in it? It's what I'm concerned about. I mean, be fair to everybody.
Feed those horses and,
Coffee.
Well, that makes sense
Pasture,
because, he was stating earlier that we don't have anybody out there to do the evaluations to say, okay, are these the right cows here? Is there so many more cows here than there's supposed to be? And then the overgrazing of the land, you know, how do we determine the of grazing that we can do on that, how many cows we can have, the limitations and all that. I know nothing about none of that stuff. It would be beneficial to have a meeting and bring questions and get answers specifically.
Okay, for the record, I'm tabling Sean's request until further discussion with our tribal attorney and going back and bringing up that block list that we approved, so. I think, yeah, it used to do it maybe by individual, I think, I can't remember though.
I just remember you brought us a list that their leases were up, and then they,
Because some leases have different years, correct? When they're expiring, right? So, and to catch you guys up to speed who weren't in all the meetings, I brought this up before, and I'm not trying to be unfair to anybody, any leasee, any tribal member, tribal rancher, whatever, bureau, as council, but I did bring up the fact one time of how these leases were made. Why one's 160 acres, 200, 360 acres, why couldn't we divide that up to allow more tribal members to lease more tribal land and have that opportunity to have a home site or a cow operation or a horse operation, or if they want to raise chickens, I don't care what they want, but you know what I mean? That's what really, when we're talking about leases and stuff and tribal land, that's what really needs to be looked at. Too, because we have tribal members now that are coming back or want to come back and do things and do businesses. So that's something to keep in the thought of your mind, but to do it in a respectful way and do it the right way, in a legal way, that's the right way to approach it. That's my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel. Like I said, it's really important. You guys need to state your opinions, and if you don't understand it, that's okay. I'm still learning every day in this job, but it's a lot to understand, this lease, the land, and it's a very complex, contentious thing.
So we don't know how these leases were established, like by acres or whatever, they just come up with a random number?
Yeah, so that's more of a, no.
Range units are put together encompassing quite a few different tracks, so it makes it easier to manage. But they have stocking rates where only so many head can go on each track, so that's what we go off of. So that way it doesn't get overgrazed. And so we'll allow, because the tribe allows it, we track how many cattle is brought on from outside sources, and we give them, like, say, 6 months to graze it, and then they have to get it off to prevent overgrazing.
So they have a compliance like that.
We don't have anybody out there to verify that they're being compliant, right?
That's where we
That's what-
we don't have anybody.
That's what we do. So we haven't been able to do a really good thorough job since the COVID happened. And now we lost our range management specialist, so we're gonna be advertising that pretty soon. So then next we gotta get them up to speed.
Okay. Next item, we're gonna hold off on the housing, or no, Tim, housing consortium real
Do
quick.
we have to motion to table Sean's thing or no?
No. Thank you guys, James and Christie, and sorry if I sound like I'm harping on you, but that's, I really need your TAs on a lot of stuff, so anytime I might call you down when we're meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
this month, Randy spoke about that lawsuit that Lyman County, or that we put against Lyman County. We have issues with our addresses on the homes in Lower Brule. And so with this lawsuit that we had with Lyman County, the addresses came up because a lot of voters, people that want to come in and vote need to have a physical address. And we have a hodgepodge of different addresses in the community. So what we're doing now is we've got 3 or 4 maps, maybe even 6 maps, and we've got them up to where we're applying the 911 numbers to all the homes in Lower West Brule, as well as the surrounding areas within the boundaries. As we're doing that, we also are looking at working with rural water because we just got a grant to put in water meters in each home throughout the reservation, and there's going to be about 400 water meters that are going to have to go dug into these homes. They're not going to go inside the homes, but they're going to go outside of the home in a pit. So while we're there, we also are going to coordinate our 911 addresses with that development, with the installation of those pits. We're going to have a meeting next week on those pits. So while we're out there doing those pits with rural water, we're also going to be applying these 911 numbers, and then we're going to be giving information to these homes, to the homeowners or the renters or whoever they are in there, that this is your official 911 address, and this is the address you need to use from here on out. Then we get rid of all the other addresses. While we're also there, we'd like to incorporate, while we're there, this thing with the homeless survey is to work with this organization here, which is not a state organization, but a group that wants to come in and make an assessment of the Lower Brule, West Brule communities to find out how many homeless we potentially have in the community. If we have 100 homes and we have 600 people, then that means 6 homes per person. Right now, we need to find out if we've got 12 people per home, because that would deem somewhat a homelessness situation. And then once we do this survey, we can take that survey and use it to get other funds. So we're looking for a resolution on getting this survey done while we're doing the 911 and while we're doing the meter pits. And then we'll take that data that we collect, and it'll be up to these folks and us to design the way that they're going to collect it so that we're not, again, going in and just asking a bunch of questions that people don't know what they're asking.
Do they have a specific definition of homelessness?
I think they did say. It says the PIT count is important because it helps us understand what resources we need and where we need them, and to strategize best ways to use them to end homelessness. Now, as far as what that means, or what that term means in here is defined as.
The school's got a pretty broad definition. They request funding, I think, or they used to, for homelessness. And I think one of the definitions is that if you're staying with a relative.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you've got 10 homes and you've got 100 people, you've got 10, and then most of these homes are 6 occupancies or 3 occupancies. So it's just it would be just a good thing to have. And while we're out there doing, and we're going to know where all these homes are at because of rural water.
So you go from house to house,
Yep.
count the people in there?
Yep.
Before I left the post office, my boss was having me work on the 911 address because a lot of times we can't get to do our business. Because when people order stuff, they say this address, this stuff was post office, this address. Okay, so we weren't able to validate these addresses because housing, whenever they develop these housing places, or whatever, they gave housing unit numbers instead of their address. So before I left, it was like, I got cut off right in the middle of, I had a lot of information of, we have to collect the housing housing house numbers and stuff.
Yep.
And then they gave me maps of the 911 addresses from Kennebec.
Yep.
And we're supposed to combine those two together to come up with their actual physical address, which is a 911 address, but put it in our system to say, this is the address, this is their house number, instead of being a housing address and being a 911 address, whatever else.
Right, and rural water has all of that in their computer, and so does Sheldon. So now we're going to take and double check those homes to make sure we know that those numbers apply to those homes. And the 911 goes to the land that the home is sitting on, the location, not just the home, not the home. So
So a lot of the people in the community are using their physical address as the housing's address.
Yep.
And that's not.
Confusing.
Be the 911 address.
Right. And so it'll go to FedEx, it'll go to UPS, it'll go to the post office, it'll go to Winter, Kennebec, and after we've vetted it and made sure that it's accurate.
So with this homelessness thing, we couldn't, I mean, when I was working there, we couldn't issue a mailbox to somebody that was homeless. I mean, because they didn't have a physical address and they don't have a current lease, which is the physical address. So that's how we define homelessness. Or how, when I worked there, define homelessness.
So the former tribal pattern, we did this 911 and the addresses were down there. So that was wrong?
No, I don't know, I didn't never see those records.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about addresses, physical addresses, and I use this too, that's my house number, is stipulate, but the county has me down as
Someone else?
950.
Yep. And you're a rural, you could be a rural address, they're a little bit different than in-town addresses, but we have your address upstairs. We have Wilma's too, everyone's.
You guys, your guys' 911 addresses are the Tonkin Lane and the Medicine Butte Lane. Those are what you guys, those are what your official addresses should be.
Rough country.
But we don't have it.
I found that the county when I was. Happy Dawn is 22950. My son was born in 78, that way on the other end, but they just don't show nothing.
Right.
So when they have it 229.
So the ones we have will be official, and then we'll come in and we'll show you the map and we'll get the resolution to make them all official. But because we're checking too, we know about, that's where this homeless thing comes up. We know how many units are empty right now and how many units are not being utilized. So we're getting that inventory as well.
You got a resolution on that, Mr. Chairman?
Well, that could be, Susie, but again, we're up there doing it, and if it's around, I find it, I'll crack it open and look at it.
And my suggestion on this was until we get Randy's info to make sure everything's good, because it's very important for the tribe to remember anytime somebody's asking for data, that we put an addendum in there to say any data collected on the Lord Sioux Tribal Reservation boundaries belongs to the Lord Sioux Tribe, and request to use that data, that authorization has to come from us. So I guess what I would ask for is until we temporarily approve it, until we get the concurrence and it's okay from our tribal attorney, and that way then we can get moving on it, because any help we can get to address the homelessness and the housing crisis we have on the reservation is a good thing for our people. So that's why I wait till we get this guy, the Secretary Treasurer back in to do this.
There's 23 houses in the community that's boarded up for over 5 years. Okay.
I'm so glad that map thing is going down. Oh my gosh, that saved my job.
It's pretty simple too.
And I don't know why housing went, or like initially using that one address instead of just creating their own house. So what we were gonna try to do, but when I worked there, what I was gonna try to do was tell everybody, this is your 911 address, this is your legitimate address. if you need to include the housing address, put it as your house number, like, so to speak, apartment number, or something, your secondary address, but your primary address is.
See, when we're in digging that pit in, we'll put the number on the home.
That would be awesome. That would be really cool. I mean, and that would help UPS as well. I mean, I don't work for them anymore, but oh my gosh, that'd be great.
You know, my address is 532 Sitting Bull, house 1, house
239.
House 239. See, but that's where the confusion comes in. The 911 address is 532 Sitting Bull. And the housing address is house 239, right?
See, and
That's why we need the resolution.
And sometimes when people have that double address, like myself, when the FedEx, if you get a package in the mail, sometimes they take it back to Pier because they're confused, they don't know.
Or, see, what the confusion with that is you're 239 under housing, but Jory's 239 under 911.
Yeah.
So your two addresses are very conflicting in
Yeah,
there.
and we had that happen, we had an ambulance pull in one time.
It was for Jory, yeah.
Yeah.
And so and you guys are both eligible for a free box. But then one of them is considered ineligible because you guys are both over 239.
Yeah.
But there could be two 306s in town, but it's 306 Buffalo or 306,
Well, we're saying Sitting Bull.
yeah, but they've got
There's
two
both.
different streets.
Ours are both on Sitting Bull.
Yeah.
Say yeah,
And so because the address is conflict, because hers, I don't know, address is his house address. So it's like,
We'll move on. We'll get this one done as soon as Mark gets back, for the sake of time, because I really need to get on the road.
The last one too, Mr. Chairman, is each year we get 638 funds in different programs, different 630, and we have to have a resolution to accept the money. We did do a blanket resolution in here, but in this particular case with Mary Jane's EPA funds, she's that's not working for her, so she's asking for a resolution to accept her funds.
That's why I was just visiting Ursula, because each one has to be separately, because they're from different sources. So we have to do resol separately for each one.
Three resolutions.
Yeah. But I can't.
So 3 of them. All right, well then.
Treasure here. So in the meantime, while waiting for him to return, Mrs. Emily Flute, last thing on the agenda, so.
did you say Mary Jane's resolution was in our packet?
She just gave it to you. Maybe this wasn't enough, she didn't get one? Look like this.
No, I don't know.
So we're one short. Who brought those down? You, Tim? You're one short for,
Why'd you leave me out?
Me too.
Just kidding. Give it here. I'll remember that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
You're probably all aware, for the new council members, I brought a little bit of backup. We were talking about the judge, and we have the petition. That was the issue last council. We were asked to do a petition. We did a petition. And we come back, and then it was asked if we could wait till the new council was seated for any further action or whatever. And I guess just to go over a little bit of this, I think we banished her. We went up and we confronted with her, and she wouldn't go, and she was gonna call the council or whatever, but that's why we brought the information for the treaties, we brought it to the council. Banishment is one of our treaty rights. We also brought, the second article is where the BIA recognizes traditional council as provisional government of Kickapoo tribe. That's a treaty right to traditional council. And that's one of the issues too, is in looking at the allocation from the Department of Interior, it does have funding sent down for traditional tribal justice practices, it says. So we were asking, well, where did that money go? They were sent funding for it. And even according to, I don't know if it says on this one, but in this audit, the last page, it does mention that there's money for traditional tribal justice practices, meaning we can do our own court. And a tribal member was in trouble, and it seemed like he kept being targeted. So then he came and talked about it to Dwayne, and Dwayne said, well, this is what we need to invoke, our treaty rights. Under this law, we have a right to traditional tribal justice practices. Went back to court, and the judge agreed. Yes, you do have that right. So she knew about it, but where did the funding go then? But anyway, the reason for the petition was because people don't agree with her here. They feel like they've been targeted, and they feel they've been injustice because of the high fines, bonds. Some people can't even get the bonds back, and there's a whole story behind that. But then, like, where did the bond money go? You know, like my sister's. At one point, she had to pay $1,000 to get her kid out, and you know, where does that money go to anyway? So then all that stuff, and then now the court is broke, and we're paying them out of general fund. I mean, where did all those millions, according to this audit that this audit just came to light for the new members. The council, we asked them, they wasn't aware of it, and it would happen way before their reign or whatever. So it was brought to light just now. They weren't aware of it, so we made them aware of it, and they wanted to look into it. Mr. Chairman asked if, you know, they could have time to look into the, I guess, some issues of the audit. Where did that money go exactly? How much? When we told her, it was nearly like $2 million. And that's a lot of money. Our concern is that she can't be, you know, just doing whatever willy-nilly with our money. It's supposed to be for the people. And when you have people going to jail over and over and over, and, you know, nothing's really happening over there, then, you know, what are... You know, we need a different judge, is all I can say. And mostly, we need to go back to the DOI and ask, where did that funding go for our tribal justice, traditional justice practices? So, but getting back to that story, so the judge asked Dwayne if he could come up with some judges for that. So he did. He picked some elders of the community, and then they sat on there and heard the case, and that was decided. I don't know how the case went or whatever, but that's what happened in that case. So things can happen. We have rights. We have Department of Justice helping us, and I'm glad of that. But so we wanted to come back and see what's the decision on a judge. According to the petition, it was signed by people, we got enough signatures, and like I told you, each signature had a story. This is what the people want. This is their wish, that she no longer be here. Like I said, everybody that signed it, we stood there and we listened. Oh, she did this, and you know what I don't like is she said this, or you know,
this way.
yeah. So it's just, I think it needs to be addressed. We took care of the petition for you, and I would ask if you guys would act on it today, because this has been going on since when, July? we've been coming back to you and back to you.
So this audit that says it took place in March of 2016, on the left side, it actually states that there was $19,000 in unsupported expenditures. Was that judge part of that 2016 administration? Okay, and then it goes on to list the A through F, and it says these are additional unallowable spending that she allowed, right? So that's what this audit reported, and she was part of that.
And like I stated before that meeting, and Mr. Chairman said he was gonna get hold of her, she told me to my face that she could not do her job adequately. Susan, I can't do my job adequately without the help of, well, Alan Durkin needs to go. I gotta say it again.
Amen.
With her, the mental health and the drug and alcohol, those guys ain't accountable for their part to be helping her. And she, there's a few people, my daughter's one of them. Oh, no, I like Lori, but she helped me, oh, she did this, she did that. Well, yeah, for a few people. But if she's gonna be doing that for a few people, why don't you do it for all of them? And then maybe we would have people like my brother Jason standing there breaking her up. Oh, she helped. No, they made a choice themselves to be sober.
Yeah.
And she guided them. Yeah, she did the best she could. Thank you for doing your job. Oh, Lori might have bought this grant. She did this, she did that. Well, that's her job. What do we got to pat her on the back for?
But that, she did her job too well because she learned how to steal our money, what boils down to. And that's my concern is, and I'm not just speaking for myself or, the community, the ones that signed it, they are concerned too. And we're up here just, we could think of a way to do this. So we came to you and, you kind of helped us, guided us along and stuff, and we worked together on this. And it's not just for our families, it's for all the families. That you look at the petition, there's a variety of names on there. We went to a lot of families. And it ain't just for our kids. It ain't just for us and our children even. It's for the younger ones. If they get in trouble, or they can just be kept thrown in jail and targeted and just, let go and back in jail. And to me, it's like the court system is set up to make the tribal member fail. They don't do anything, so they end up back in court, Okay, so let's just run them through again. And they need to work better with the law enforcement, for one thing, I think.
So this first document that you brought states that the treaties are the tribal nations are the supreme law of the land or whatever.
Yes.
And that gives us that empowers us to do banishment, right? Right? And then this one right here for the Kikuku tribe says that the judge backed off and said that the traditional community are the ones, they have to follow that because they're traditional. That's what it says in the treaty.
Yes. And we did bring other case law. We brought other cases where the states, yes, where it's been to court, and according to the North Dakota tribe, they did banishment, and then they were taken to court. Well, then the court sided with the tribe because it said it's within their rights. It's their treaty rights, and treaty rights are the supreme law of the land. So, and I guess it's the people's wishes, I guess, and
You just needed the judge to be Lakota. That should be the #1 requirement.
That's what it states in there. I mean, if nobody can understand that, they have to be special. I'm not saying.
Well,
anybody.
it's what we're talking about is the Self-Determination Act. The Self-Determination Act provides for us to do our own governing. Like, remember you was just talking in another instance where, we should be able to, do our own governing, and in that we could provide our people good quality service, using the people even, putting them to work even.
Okay, we're on discussion. We'll go to Chris first since Marvin's missing.
Can we see a copy of your petition?
They submitted that.
We submitted that already.
Should have been provided to this new council members so that we could see that as well.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. They have it.
So then We would have it so that we can have, you and I can be provided a copy of it.
I don't,
We gave you guys copy.
We-
they wouldn't let us, they wouldn't let us
Petition,
read
yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
You kept it from us, right?
No, we made copies.
We made a copy for your record, yeah.
If we're
So there's a
expected to make
record,
a decision
but-
today,
but-
I'd like a copy of it today.
Who's got it? Oh, where's there
Yeah,
some?
whoever's got it. But then, see, and the petition is just a small part of what we're talking about. We're talking about embezzlement. Embezzlement is embezzlement. A crime is a crime regardless. And this, is to me, I mean, it's a cover-up. It was a cover-up back then. And you know, I said that to Mr. Chairman, but he didn't like it. But I mean, we have to be civil, I guess.
How many signatures on the petition? Is that what you needed the petition for, to see how many signatures are there?
Yeah, to compare it to the registered voter list.
Yeah, so how,
Yeah, that's what we
They
went
said we
by.
had to have
That's what they
30.
directed us to do. They asked us to do that.
So we did.
so how many, do you know how many petitions, signatures are on the petition?
165 or 167.
67, 167.
And there was only like 420 voters, so that is more than 30%.
You could probably get the other half if we put effort into it.
But, you know, the petition is, like I said, it shouldn't even be issued. That's just over and beyond what we looked up the laws, we provided the laws, we provided the case law, and so we're back before you. And this is the people's will, just, it ain't just our
All
will.
these findings in this audit, was there any, corrective action taken against her?
That's what,
Held her accountable for it or anything?
That's what they asked the tribal manager to look into all that stuff.
2 months ago.
Nothing came of that?
Not
What
yet.
was that?
No, I'm saying this audit that they said, and there's a number of findings that they said was mismanagement of her funds or whatever. Was there any kind of, did they reprimand her for it, or did they have her recover those funds or anything like that? Or give an explanation as to why those are like that?
I don't think they recovered the funds, or else they wouldn't be broke, you know, and we're still.
But I mean, she wasn't reprimanded for doing that, was she?
I doubt it, because she's still here. I mean, you know, to me, a crime, you should have to pay some kind of penalty or something, but she's just, you know. I mean, if it was us, if it was a tribal member, you guys would hold us up to it.
If I was selling $10 bottles, you guys would banish my ass for, oh, this is what Susan Quilt's doing. We need to banish her. So you would banish me quicker and shit because that's been done. I know it's been done. And that's alcohol. You know, and that's one person doing, oh, they're selling to the tribe. They're doing this to the tribe. They're doing this to the people. You know, and we'll banish somebody quicker and shit for that. I know we have. But this woman, and it states native, you need to be native to be in this position, first of all. And we all know the former council and everything that they did. She told me to my face, she cannot do her job adequately. I'm saying this again, and nobody got it yet. I'm saying it again. She can't do her job adequately because of mental health and a drug and alcohol program.
Well,
She didn't say exactly what, but okay, I am saying this and I'm saying it again, and nobody's, you know, like I said, nobody's getting it. Well, who's gonna make them accountable for not doing their job and looking into that? You know, and you guys, all day we heard, oh, we gotta look into that, we gotta look into that. You know who's gotta look in that? Him and his executive assistant, his assistant and his secretary. That's who he should have in his office. Because the former tribal planner, Tony Roulard, and you guys were talking 911, that was already old. There's all kinds of stuff that, and I even offered my services to this man back here. Because I worked under her for a lot of years, and I'm not just no phone answering person. And I didn't get to sit there on my phone. She made damn sure that we had to do what we did. So why is it nobody's making whoever, Alan Durkin needs to go, whoever works up there accountable? Because we know she's a down closet drunk too, forgive me. And she's working for our mental health. This is common knowledge to anybody and to our younger ones. They seen her, they know. And she's still sitting up there. And this is why I keep saying at every meeting, alcohol meeting, and A meeting, gatherings, Ellen Durkin needs to go. Why? Because she's not doing her job. Look at how many suicides we have. Look at how many people we have drinking and drunk and getting all these debts stacked up. They're stacking.
That's a whole system that needs to be addressed. But the judge can't just push it off on anybody else either. Did they help her steal that money? I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. But the thing is, the embezzlement is a serious issue. And we can't have that, going on all the time. And so she's still here. What, you guys gonna just slap her on the hand again and let her go on? Or, no, I don't think that's fair to the people.
Person. She did this for me. Oh, she did that. And yeah, we know whose kids she lets out and who she favors.
Right.
The community all knows this. We all know this. It's common knowledge. Well, for the ones that live in the community.
I think she's been here so long, she knows the families and she knows the ones to cater to.
Okay, we're on discussion, more discussion, I'll move on to Jewel for
I
discussion.
have a question. Did she ever get reprimanded for the audit that came out?
It was in 2016, so,
2016.
So yeah, it should have been a while ago.
I don't know.
If she's missing that much money, I'd say she's incompetent.
My discussion is with this petition is that, it states specifically in the Constitution and bylaws the steps that we need to go forward with this petition. We need to consider that.
Should be a vote by this council, you'd have to have four votes for it, so. But we're on discussion, any more discussion?
No, I'm just saying that's what,
Okay.
we're following our Constitution and bylaws. It states specifically, just like he said with the personnel issue,
Sure.
there's a due process there. And so with our petition, with the Constitution and bylaws, it states exactly how we handle a petition.
Got one in here too, so. I don't, it's that one. Oh, is that one?
That's the one I pulled out that.
The book, yeah.
Yeah.
Discussion, Jewel?
If she did all this back in 2016, she should have been brought, the outside should have been brought up, but it hasn't. It hasn't. I mean,
Why?
if someone did bad, then, and then they would have had them by now. So there must not be anything with her then if she's not incarcerated
People are like this
for this.
for that, what you're talking about.
Well, like I said, it's cover up, She's worked with families and catered to families, and I believe she's even did favor for the council,
We know she did. I know she did.
We've lived here years and years, and we know.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Can I finish?
Yes, ma'am, you got the floor.
I know that, sure, she has people that says, oh, she did this, she did that for me. And that's, she saved some lives around here that I know of because she had to put them in jail. She saved even my own family, putting them in jail, keeping them just to get their heads clear enough to try and want to think about helping themselves. You talk about up here, they're not helping. Well, we're gonna work with that, I'm sure, to help our program help with her program. We all need to unite and help each other. And as far as I know, she's been helping our people. And, I feel bad that, all this has to come up. Why didn't this come up years ago if it's really true?
Because it was covered. We never, like I said,
I don't know
it came
how
to
you
light.
cover all this
It
up.
just came to light. Well, the people, I guess, we didn't know.
What's gonna happen? How are our people gonna get help any other way? We have drug use so bad around.
There could be other.
So bad that it's gonna kill our people. And it is killing our people. And if this is one way that she's helping, I'm all for her because we lost money too. We paid a lot of money just to get family out too. But I'm not complaining because we're trying to work with them and I'm not questioning, where did money go? You know, we have to invest in our people that are strung out on drugs. You know, we need to look at the drug dealers around here. These people shouldn't even be in jail. You know, for one thing, if they're gonna have all these complaints, they don't need to be in jail. Stay out of jail, stop doing drugs, stop.
She picks and chooses who she wants to
You
throw in
know,
jail.
stop doing this and that. But it doesn't matter, these people get caught. You know, they get caught for the things that they're doing wrong, so that's why they're there. And she gives them these days for whatever reason. I don't know the law and whatever, but if that's the only way our people are going to get help, we need to.
That shouldn't be the only way for people to get help, is put them in jail. Because my daughter,
Treatment center too.
she just come from the hospital, excuse me. She just came from the hospital, from drug use.
Yeah.
But putting her in jail was not gonna help her. She would have died.
Saves their lives.
I needed to get a hold of, can I finish? I needed to get a hold of these people up here to get detox. They're not gonna detox in jail.
Mr. Chairman, I believe Councilwoman Jandrew had the floor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So how else are we gonna help our people?
Drug and alcohol program.
You know
What
what?
have they done? She's the only one that's
Point of
been.
order, finish. Yeah. Point of order, let her finish. She has the floor.
Anyway, she's the only one that's, you know, and I'm for that because she is doing something. And she's written grants to help with these programs that are right there in the court system. And it's, if our people don't take a hold of that, then that's on them. But she does touch a few here and there to help them continue and save their lives. And if we keep paying, you know, to get them out, that's on us. I didn't go begging back for $1,800 because
Some people can't.
it's lost, yeah. But we're trying to work with our people too, my family. So we got them out. It didn't work, so they went back. And we let them go back. And we're not complaining to the judge, well, where's our money? Why'd you keep us so long, you know? But things are getting done, and if that's the only way to help our people, then.
Well, we're just saying there's other revenues. She's not the only one. There's hospitalization too that can help. So, and I help with Willard Hawkwing, my cousin, when we were on a council, he asked for help. So but he didn't want to go to detox, he didn't want to go to jail. So I said, yeah, you can be put in a hospital and they could more or less like wean you off with medications. There's other route. It ain't just this judge. And, you know, I'm for the people, me, because it's some people have the privilege of, like I said, she knows the families. Some people have the privilege of being, you know, let slide by or whatever. But it's like, almost my whole family's been up there and my sister's family and all that. And yeah, maybe it is on them, but until we take care of over here, let's take care of this, you know.
It's on the family, that's when the family has to step in to help while they're out here.
Okay.
You can't just blame the judge for too many days, too much fine, and not being Lakota. She tries to respect our people for that.
Jewel, if I might just add to that, right now, we're sending on the average of about 8 to 10 people per month out to treatment, and the person sending them out is the judge or the counselor over there.
It's her job.
That's her job.
And that's third party building. We're not paying for that. The judge is finding a way to get the state to pay for that through Medicare or Medicaid.
Want to say something, interject real quick? I don't have a problem with you recording, but please, I'd respect it next time if you would ask. There is a recording policy on the door of the council chambers. And the meeting is being recorded, just for everybody's sake here.
Oh.
The camera is running.
Oh.
And so please be respectful, as
But
all
you don't
I
have a
ask.
problem with the recording right now, right?
No, I don't, but please, just next time for respect purposes, ask. There's a policy right on the door.
I have a
I'm
question.
trying to be fair to everybody here.
I do too.
And we have to be mindful of what we're talking about here. Like you said, the people. And one thing I just want to say real quick is, it would be good for you guys, and that's why I've asked you before, have you ever sat down and visited with the judge on your issues? Hold on, please, let me finish. if you've ever sat down with the judge and talked with her about, hey, how can we work with you to implement a traditional court as well as your judicial court to meet the requirements, because they do have federal grants. They do out of the Department of Justice, VAWA, other grants they receive over there that have to have federal requirements to make. Back to the 2016 audit, I think you hit the nail on the head. If there was wrongdoing, they wouldn't be sitting there. And there's still an ongoing investigation out there on the tribe right now. So that has to play out. So nobody's getting away with any wrongdoing here. And the FBI, the Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney, they don't cover up for anybody. They sure ain't gonna cover up for no native or no tribe. So we have to let them do their work. And the investigation, and he knows this better than me as a former law enforcement, once it's open, it doesn't close right away. They follow a process. So the other part of the matter is sometimes we have to look at other ways. So, okay, how can we help? And the other part is I've looked in that Constitution over and over and over. I don't see where it says it has to be a Lakota tribal judge.
It's in the treaty.
We follow the treaties, but we were sworn in under this Constitution, which you just took that oath yesterday. So that's what we have to follow as the tribal council members as well, because that's what we're sworn in.
The Constitution is not supposed to conflict with any.
Yeah, but can I finish? But that's what we're sworn in under. And so that's why I asked you the last time we discussed this, if you've ever had a one-on-one conversation with her, or you're the group that's here with you today, to say, how can we work together to make our community better? And I've been on the drug court team. Since I took office, I've just not had time to go back to that team. There's a team of people comprised of tribal members and employees, court staff and employees here that go and support those people that end up in drug court from drug charges, to try to help them, to be a support team for them. I would love for you guys to be part of that team, to go support those that are in recovery, that are struggling with addiction. We all have family that struggle. Nobody's immune from this. Everybody at this table has family that struggle from drugs. Everybody in this building. But doesn't say that we don't care. That's not fair, to me, to say that we don't care or we're not for the people. That's why we ran for office, because we do care. We do care about everybody, and we do care about your concerns. But we're just trying to make sure we're addressing it in the right, proper way, and that everybody's included in this discussion. And I mean no offense to you by saying this.
I have a question. I talked to Ellen Durkin this morning, and she had told me their director up there is never there. But I asked her about Sacred Hills, and she had told me them trailers are in good condition. All there is mice droppings. She said, other than that, they're in good condition. So I said, why can't the tribe use them trailers as a treatment center for our people? I know the state pays for thousands of dollars for them to get a bed in Keystone or wherever, but can't we get some of that money from the state to have our own
You have to find the people. Thank you for bringing that up. Well, first of all, I'm going to address what Alan made a statement against her director. That's not even her director. She's mental health. She's not under Victoria. And first of all, she shouldn't be saying who's never at work. That's a personnel thing. And I'm directing you as tribal manager to reel her in on that. We're better than that. We don't discuss our co-workers, employees to other people. That's a no-no. Hold on, let me finish. The second thing is, you have to find the staff to run those places. We were, yesterday in our council meeting, we did bring up the Bear Butte issue with that land around that and the trailers. We are working, Jewel has been an integral part of this, as well as Shirley, I believe, along with a group of other people, of us looking at our Buffalo Interpretive Center to make that into a treatment program. You're not alone with your struggles. My heart is with you. Drugs that has no borders, no colors of who it attacks and who it seeks to destroy. And that's why I spoke about that yesterday at inauguration. But we are trying everything. Right now, we have an issue where we are trying to find a way to transport people to mental health facilities, because BIA, under their regulations, cannot transport anybody. We don't have a safe, secure tribal vehicle to do that, let alone two people, which should be the minimum, to transport a person to HSC in Yankton or to Avera Behavioral in Sioux Falls. We're still working on that issue right now. But we are concerned about a lot of those things.
And we just did that, Mr. Chairman. Last
So-
month, we had to transport a mental unstable person, and we
Sorry,
couldn't
I
do
think
it
this-
because of unsecure automobiles or unsecure vehicles. So we had to go to the county and have them help us with that. And we know how we don't like to ask the county to do those kind of things.
That's a separate issue, though. That's mental health issue. We're talking about the judge here.
Excuse me, what I was getting at was, jail is not a place for someone who is going through some, like they're on drugs, they're going through something, okay? I think they need to hospitalize them, a very health, detox them, bring them back and try to help them after that.
And we can.
Excuse me, because my daughter went to the hospital and her friends came after her and they bring her back. She was talking out of her mind. Thank God, I asked Derry for help at the courthouse. He said the only way I could help her is if she's in jail. And I knew in my heart that being in jail was not gonna help her. It should just be alone, and she was seeing snakes. How is that being in jail gonna help her and put her in a drunk tank? That was gonna help her. I'm glad Houston seen her and said he had to take her to the hospital. And he said, the doctor said, her heart could have beat right out of her chest if he hadn't taken her in there. And they put her on Ativan, Lorazepam. It's kind of like a tranquilizer where it bring her down. Had he not taken her to the hospital and they just jailed her, she'd be dead right now. Her heart would have beat out of her chest if he didn't take her to the hospital. So jail does not help everybody, especially when your child is in that condition. And that's my child. I'd be going to a funeral right now if Houston didn't take her to the hospital.
And I don't think it's in the chief judge's job duties to be a mental health advocate or whatever she's trying to do by putting people in jail. That doesn't solve, I agree with that. That doesn't solve anything. If she's doing good by the people by putting them in jail, well, then that's where our mental health department's lacking that.
Yeah, what Jewel was saying earlier about, it's our frustration too, because we don't have a detox facility local. Avera had it, but it's such a bad liability for them that they got out. So they're out of that now. So we're looking at saying, okay, how do we get these people, like you just said, the help? Because that is your daughter.
Yes.
And that's scary.
It is.
So we're frustrated with it too, because of the cost of building something like that. The tribe has put aside money to do that, but the money that they put aside, we still need probably another $4 or $5 million to put up a facility like that, even though we have the land and we have an older building next to Pier. And it would be ideal in Pier because we're close to the professionals there. And plus, when these folks come back to the community, they don't come back into the environment that got them in trouble. We're trying to put them into a place far away where they can at least off the reservation someplace or close to a population where they can get work and they can get some sort of pattern going to have a normal, a normal work day and a normal life.
Some of these people here don't want to be in that. They don't want to, they know they need help. Like my daughter, I know I need help, Mom, I'm trying, and she tried, she was trying. I know she was trying, she was home, she was cooking, she was getting her child up for school, she was eating finally. She was drinking water finally. She was getting back to normal. When you start crying, you know you're being human again. Your emotions come back. They don't understand that. Jail's not going to help them do that.
But we have no other place to go with them right now. That's what our frustration is.
And Sunday came, I had no place to go for it. Where were these guys? I had nobody to call. No one.
She said we were sending, 8 to 10 people out every month.
Not every month, but we have a pretty good share of people going out.
So then there is a place to send people.
Yeah, we are sending them to Canton, we're sending them to Aberdeen, we're sending them to Sioux Falls, we're sending them to as far away as Gordon, Nebraska.
They were, if Houston didn't send her to the hospital, she'd be dead with her heart blown up in jail. So jail is not always the same place for them. It's not a safe place for them. They don't check on them all the time. They don't know how to treat a person like that. You know,
So that's, like I said, that's not, I think that's beyond what the judge is actually supposed, her duties as chief judge is. That's something that needs to be taken care of in our mental department. As far as payment goes with the with the bonds and stuff. Yeah, she picks and chooses how much she wants to, like, I've heard people come to me about how this person got charged this much for a bond, but this person didn't even get a bond. And I mean, that goes by history on their, you know, their offenses. It, I guess is what she decides. But some people say, no, she just does it at her will. Like, who somebody is directing her to tell her about her payments. We pay to bond them out. I get it, you know, it helps with you or whatever, but there's some people that can't afford that. But they
It didn't help with me, and I'm not complaining about it.
No. I mean, you said that, like, it helps you, like, by, you're willing to put up that bond money to help your family member or whatever, just like everybody else is.
Well, actually, that really didn't help, because she just came out and went back and started doing the same old thing.
Yeah,
And then you go back in, so we stopped, bonding them out again, but, you know, we can't.
I wasn't gonna bond my daughter out.
For all this
And
going
no,
on.
but
We as a family need to step up and help them when they're at home, do all we can, even pray.
But
We know the power of prayer.
I know that.
My point was
So-
that she does, there's not a set line that she's got selective prosecution going on over there.
But
that-
you're saying hearsay, you said hearsay about her, you know, about the judge.
No, what I'm saying is there's people that get fined differently. There's people that get thrown in jail longer. There's people that don't even have to go to jail because of who they are. I mean, those are facts. In black and white, it says in our treaty that we have to have traditional tribal justice practices. And our constitution bylaws goes along with their treaty. We have to follow our treaty. We can't pick and choose who we want to enforce the laws to. Our past chief judges were our own tribal members. We all know who our past chief judges were.
And even
We've all had
then,
a
they got
family
slapped
member.
on the hand.
Yeah,
You know,
but
so
then
that
still
didn't really help either.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in order to be legit, in order for this to happen, in order for us to do something about this, in order for us to follow the regulations, in order for us to be.
It's not our job to convict anybody, it's the feds.
I'm not
that
trying to
do that.
convict anybody. I'm
not
trying
our
to say.
job.
Point of order?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. We
Yes.
were on discussion and I don't know if Councilwoman Jandrew was done, but I believe
done.
Vice Chairman Russell was next.
Isn't that what discussion is?
Yeah, but hold on, point of order, we're going around on the discussion right now. Mr. Russell, discussion.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. Feli, you made a reference to the treaties. Are you talking about that Bad Man Act?
No, I actually have it where it says in the treaty that we are required by this federal law to follow tribal justice practices, and we can't do that with that lawyer. I'll show you.
But if I may,
Continue on. I'm with you to a certain degree. I've seen some actions from my family members that I thought she did was wrong. However, according to the Constitution, it says that you get 30% of the voters and then respond to such charges in writing. But before you put that in writing, you have to have some solid evidence. When you say, you mentioned that she was embezzling, where's the proof of that?
It's right here in the audit.
That doesn't say she's embezzling.
Herman could tell you what he did,
Unsupported expenditures.
how he did it.
Unsupported expenditures.
Embezzling is when you put it in your pocket, I think.
Mismanagement is
Mismanagement.
the grade lower than embezzlement.
And it looks like, so anyway, so there's nothing solid there. Try to understand, before we move forward, we have to have all of this evidence. And then, where does it say that chief judge has to be native?
In the treaty. It says traditional tribal justice practices.
There's no what?
In our Lower Blue Sioux Tribal Council treaty, it says that we have to follow, even with the federal. I mean, I can't get that, I thought I had it here, I got my wrong bag, but it specifically says traditional tribal justice practices from the feds and in our treaty both.
Point of order real quick. Mr. Sergeant of Arms, the deal is, this is what I don't understand. When you keep bringing up a non-native judge, why didn't this ever come up when Mr. Mueller, who's not native, was a judge?
It did.
I don't know who the judge was before
did.
that, but I don't remember him being removed. If I remember, he stepped down because of health issues, and I haven't been around the tribal business long enough to know that.
He was removed. He was
Was
removed
you a
from
law
the ballot.
enforcement around here then?
He was removed.
Yeah, health reasons, but it just,
No,
I don't.
if I.
And if we're violating that, I don't. Oh,
If I may, he wasn't removed because of health issues. He did have health issues, but he didn't come to the swearing in. So they automatically just let him go or whatever. It wasn't because of, he did have.
Person to run for judge.
We did Tim Felicia, and he got blackmailed by the tribe.
Yep, and the last two, David Jones and, what's his name?
Roy Ziegler.
No, previously. Tim Felicia and David Jones, previously when they both ran, they were bullied out of it. Or bought out, or bullied out, or whatever, and was throwing around these qualifications, which these qualifications aren't even stated in the Constitution and bylaws. We have to uphold our Constitution and bylaws.
So can I ask a question?
yep.
So we have the petition and it's signed and it's 30% of the voters. Can we honor that?
We were on discussion, that's what we're discussing right now. So you got any more discussion? Yeah, okay.
Everything else, the petition is what we need to honor.
So anyway, back to this evidence. According to my understanding on this OIG analysis, if there was any wrongdoing or embezzlement, it seemed like they would have took that up.
It's not their authority to do that.
Yes, they can.
It's the authority of the tribal council to pursue any kind of action against her.
If she was stealing federal dollars,
They make recommendations.
the OIG, yeah.
Yep, and it's the responsible of the tribe.
I think they can charge people.
They just make recommendations. I don't know. But I've seen a number of these audits on our tribe that consistently come out negatively, a number of them. And I'm just sick of being in a negative light like that. I mean, that's off the subject, but still, yeah.
But
I've read them and it's.
if I may, another issue is the Constitution. You bring up Constitution. The Constitution states right there in the preamble will not conflict with any other any other federal law. The treaty is federal law, and that paper said that treaties are the supreme law of the land. So the Constitution can't even conflict with so that's why, we brought the banishment to you, and we asked you to support it, and you guys went off the route of the petition and stuff. And so we did whatever you asked, we did whatever, but this is what was, and you know what? This is what people brought to us. They didn't want her, okay, so, with the last councils, they stuck up for her and they wanted her in there, like I said, because we all know why, we're all old enough to know. She did favors. Okay, so then they held her in there and everything. And then, what's our other course? Okay, we have a right to our treaty rights. So, we drafted the banishment up and we did that. We did this before. And like I said, it was brought to her. Well, then there was 3 council members that stood and protected her. And I told you guys that. That was Red and John McCauley and Boyd Gorno. So I said, well, they protected her and that was on them. And so people saw that, People saw that, who's for who or whatever, but they're sitting there, well, what about me? I don't want that judge. Hey, yeah, she needs to be gone, stuff like that. That's them. They wanted a recourse. So we offered them a recourse if we brought it to you. But if you don't want to listen to them, then that's fine. I mean, we're just here exercising our treaty rights. And I do have a best interest because my relatives are in jail too.
And we're here to uphold the actual regulations that we have to go by. We have to follow these regulations. We have to follow these, what's written in black and white.
Are you having more?
Yes. Looking at the OIP analysis, it says The Office of Inspector General agreed with our recommendation and stated in response that it will coordinate with the tribe to remedy the 19,000 plus in unsupported expenditures. So have you followed up to see if that $19,000 was paid back or put into a program?
I believe that last council meeting, you guys directed the tribal manager to look into
I believe
that.
that report is complete. I'm gonna have to get it, and I can give it to Thale, I'm sure, so that you can go ahead and take a look at it.
Okay, thank you. Well, you can give it to all of us, actually.
So was it remedied then?
I didn't read the report over. All I know is that the report said that if there was no findings in there, and you know, if there's no findings in there from this report, I don't know how much more we can go with. But I'll get that and share that.
And that's not just the only issue, the audit, it was the people being, there's a lot of issues and, you know, we're taking everything out of context. The thing is, we came to you
I don't think that.
for the banishment.
If we were to move forward with this part of the treaty and some verbiage from people, that might, I don't think that's enough to get her removed.
Petition
What she
is-
could possibly do is turn around and sue us.
She can't.
No, she can't. We're
David, I know
sovereign.
that.
You're sovereign.
She could do a civil lawsuit.
She could do civil, but then the sovereignty over, remember I brought you that case too, where she tried to sue the tribe at Standing Rock and didn't. They didn't side with us.
If we're gonna get cut off every time we wanna have discussion, what's the point of discussion?
My question is, her opinion. My question is, did you guys ever bring this to the judicial committee?
I used to be on the judicial committee when I was on council, and it was, more or less like, it wasn't the policy part, it was just like what was going on, or how was the law enforcement doing, or whatever. It wasn't really like the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, because I'm currently on judicial committee. We haven't had a meeting while Shirley's on the judicial committee, but seems like these serious allegations being made could, you know, go through the proper channels. And you're right. I mean, you came to the council, but to be fair if we have the Lower Sioux Tribe has an established judicial committee, these allegations and complaints should come before this committee to ask Mrs. Minor of these issues, get that response, and then bring the judicial committee's report back to the council of their findings of their interviews with the judge on these issues. And then with a judicial committee's recommendation from that. But then there's also the thing with the petition. And that would be up to the council to decide if they were gonna allow that to go before them and be heard and vote on it.
Well, I'll make a motion then to go ahead and enforce that petition.
Okay, hold on, we're still in discussion. So Marvin, now is your time. You have any discussion?
I mean, I kind of stepped out, so the issue is, what was your request, Andrew?
Honor the petition.
Hold on.
But we came to you with the banishment, and we've done this before. There was a lot of people at that time that aren't involved now, but then we had meetings and we banished her. And like I said, the 3 council members stood and protected her. So we brought that to light. Well, then, now we're doing it again because people are still complaining about her, you know, and they brought issues because, you know, they know, you know, we know a little bit about law, you know, so then they brought it forth. So we did the banishment, we brought it before you for support, and then you asked us to do the petition, so we did the petition. And you said, wait till the new council comes in. So I gave them a little bit of background of some papers of what we're looking at, and
So
just,
Are you asking us to banish her, or are you asking us to hold like a hearing to start the proceedings of it?
Who's already doing that?
Rescue our petition.
We did the banishment and we came to you for support of the banishment and you asked us to do the petition. So I guess that's, we wanted support of the banishment as well. And then I brought the letter for signatures, but nobody signed it because some were out or something. But in the support of the banishment, because like I said, we did it before, but council members stood in the way, so. I mean, I guess we're asking you to support a banishment. We would like you to state that you support the banishment, and if you don't, that's fine too, We have other recourses. I mean, it's just that when you go to federal court, you have to exhaust all your remedies. And that's kind of why we're here today too. We're asking for your support because to go forward, we're going to have to take some kind of action. And there is a law. I had it, and darn it, I left it. And I'm all out of sorts because I broke my glasses this morning. But the thing is, there's a law, and I can't quote it right now, but it's according to if anybody willfully knows of any wrongdoing or any federal crimes or whatever, let's say mismanagement or whatever it says, if they willfully know that that's going on, and then they can be charged too. But what I'm saying is the people wanted this. This is what the people came forward and they wanted this. And under the Constitution, it says the Constitution cannot conflict with the treaty. Treaty is a federal law. It's a supreme law of the land. Those words aren't taken lightly. And so we come for you to support our banishment.
Can I say something, please?
Hold on, Susie. Is there any more discussion?
So they want us to banish?
That's what,
We're asking you to support our banishment. We did it.
Could we get a copy of the petition?
Yeah, remember we submitted.
Give us it last time. You showed us and you took it back.
that's what
No, we left a copy with you guys.
I don't.
Ursula made a copy of it.
You said we couldn't have it. You told us we couldn't have it.
No, I left it with you guys because we don't have that copy.
Your other daughter showed us it and she said,
Well, we can get it and give you a copy, but
keep this because it's the people to retaliate against you.
no, she said the original, but we gave you guys a copy. We left it here and John, see, John took it and made a copy. Oh my God.
Remember him
I'll call
saying?
John right now.
Yeah, but the original request was, the original request for you was for you guys to support the banishment. And we wrote it up and we went and went forward with it, with the people that supported that. You asked us to get the petition, probably to show more support, so we did that. And so I guess our question is, we asked you to support the banishment, because we did it already. It's just we need your support, or we would like your support. We request your support. It's a request, I guess.
I'd like to see they showed us it briefly, then they took it back, so I know it's the one time I forgot to read
did
it.
I get a copy of it?
Yeah, we could provide one, we just have to make a copy of it and.
That's what they want. Then.
And even to this day, people are coming forward and asking to sign it. So, I mean, it's still out there.
Can I ask you one question? Sorry. Hold on, Susie, I'll get to you real quick. Do you really believe getting rid of Judge Minor is gonna bring crime down?
Well, I can ask you the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you have statistics on her?
No, I don't, I'm just asking
Our crime less?
question.
I believe so.
I don't,
I believe so.
my opinion is no, it ain't. It don't matter who you're gonna have in there until you get the drug problem under control on this reservation and we work on getting our people healthy.
That's already
That's-
what's a judge.
I don't even, you know, we do have a Lakota judge over there, associate judge, so, but that's my opinion, so. Hold on, she was before you, sorry, Carrie. Yes, Susie.
Okay, Jewel, yes, she does, you know, did a good job for this and that, but that's her job to do, to help people and to get that money. That's her job. And she ain't doing it as a favor for us or as a favor for the tribe. That's her job. And I said, and I'm saying it again, she said to my face, which you said you was going to ask her, she can't, I'm saying it again, she can't do her job adequately without the help of mental health and alcohol. So you guys ain't getting this. I'm saying this is their time now. She ain't getting the help from these people. So when are you guys gonna make these guys accountable for not doing their job adequately? Because the judge told me a year ago that she needed help, but they weren't helping her. And then she came to me about 6-7 months ago and she told me, I can't do my job adequately.
Okay, hold on real quick. Tim, can you set up a meeting next week when we don't have another meeting, so don't conflict? Bring Judge Minor, bring the director of alcohol, get your written statement, put your statement in writing, because we want this in writing, get a witness to your statement. We'll bring that before the judge and everybody else, okay?
Okay, but you guys, do you understand?
I still have a motion on the table.
Yeah, we were finished with Martin's discussion. She had a question and then she had a question, so.
Mine is last year, my son was at the gas station at the pumps. Okay, he passed out. Everybody said he was drunk. That's when we found out he had diabetes. And that was this lawful order against the court, they said, because he was on tribal conditions. Okay, that same charge, he got charged again this year, this lawful order of the court. Same charge, same fine. I can't afford those fines, but you guys know that. Okay, he's been going to court for that charge twice now, and he's still going to court for it. His next court date is October 25th for the same charge. So there's my testimony to her. She's selective of who she fucking charges, excuse my language. And you do need to speak to Durkin up there, because she did tell me that director is never in her office. She's never there, so they can't get nothing. But that's not the first.
Did you say no health?
I don't know that alcohol.
But that's not the first time she's told me stuff like that. She's also told me stuff about the shelter over there. And when I repeated her, I'm the one that got fired.
Okay, there is a motion on the floor. State your motion again for those that weren't here.
My motion is to follow, to do what we're here set to do, to represent the people as a democracy. They executed a petition to remove the judge and to follow our constitution and bylaws and how to carry that out.
Can I ask a question? So basically you want us, are you asking to follow the procedures of the Constitution to get to move her?
Yep, to actually use the petition, because it says it's their right as the people that come to us with and it's nothing personal on her, like I said, it's she made it personal with this. Before I even see this, I have nothing personal with her. But we have to follow this. This is what we're here to do. So that's why I'm trying to just follow this, that's all. And they brought a petition to us, so let's act on it because they brought it to us.
But they only showed me the petition briefly.
Nope, it's on its way.
Okay, because I haven't seen it.
Provided, but yes, it's on its way.
Who did they provide it to? I've never seen it. As soon as that day, I didn't.
Just said she made copies.
Yeah, I know. I was on previous council. They showed it to me, then he took it back. It wasn't giving me a copy.
Anyway.
I just don't like being accused of something that wasn't given to me.
Ursula said she made copies, your secretary, but I don't know if she did hand them all out.
Okay, the chairman took it and you guys were.
You showed us it briefly. We passed it around.
Yeah, you
looked at it and they took it back.
John had it.
Back. I didn't see it. I mean, we didn't get.
John had it and then he turned around and went out. I thought he was going to make a copy of it. Maybe he didn't give it back.
But
No,
Ursula
I-
said she did.
I really-
John's not answering.
Are you guys
Calling out.
in these petitions, you know? But you should petition to get the drug dealers out of here. That
We
would
can do
really
that
be a
too.
big one.
We could do that too.
They came with the banishment and they didn't want to honor, or they
That
didn't want
would
to
really
support
be
the
good
banishment.
to get, they
So-
did banish one person that
Well,
I
no, I
know
mean, they
of
can-
because of drugs.
Yeah.
But get
Yeah.
the drug dealers out of here.
Yeah.
That's the
That
BIA's job.
petition.
Yeah, we can
Where's
do
Alan
that.
Durkin at?
Order, Mr. Chairman.
Point of order.
Where's the drug and alcohol people?
This is in support of my motion. I'm just saying that the reason why the petition was actually executed is because the council recommended to them that because they didn't want to support banishment, let's go to the next step and get the people's opinion with the petition. Well, I'm just saying, the people came to us with a petition. We have to uphold this constitution and bylaws and what it says here to do with a petition. So I'm just saying, I would like to follow what it says here to do with the petition, that's all.
And you know, Mr. Chairman, I know Bessie was here supporting and of course she works for her, but maybe they think that we mean the whole court system. No, those people are still gonna work in their jobs and stuff. It's just that judge, she's undesirable. And you're right, Jewel, there was we brought forward cases of where they did banish, and Barb Badhorse was here, and her brother was banished. There was some people that were actually banished before, so.
it
And we
could be
brought
done
that, yeah, we brought
But
that.
nobody wanted to support the banishment, so that's why it was at the recommendation of the council to put out the petition. So that's why the petition was put out.
Yeah, she did do a good job and they got grants and whatever, but that's her job. She didn't do it as a favor for the tribe or a favor for anybody. This is what she was supposed to be doing. She was supposed to be doing all kinds, not just for this one, not just for that one. I mean, my daughter's for her, my own daughter, Mom, she saved my life, why you do it? No, you made the choice to quit drinking. You're the one that had support. And my daughter had support because they favored her. I know that for a fact. And then at the same time, I got a niece over here, just because she is the way she is and her family is who her family is. Oh, well, we gotta look for funds and, we gotta look for, we gotta. Well, where and when are you guys gonna make the drug and alcohol, mental health accountable for their part in her job or her, whatever she's doing? Because she said she can't do her job adequately without the help of these people. And I said it and nobody's got it. Make these people accountable. Get rid of them. Put some new ones in
You
it.
just said that we're gonna have a meeting confronting that issue, so.
Right on. I hope so, because these people that have been in here too long act like they're the bosses and needs to know, this needs to be the same. We did it
So
this
then
way
are
for
we gonna,
years.
when the petition gets to you, will you look at it?
Yep, and I made a motion to uphold the petition,
Is anybody?
to execute the
second
petition
it?
according to the constitution and bylaws.
But Mr. Chairman, I'd like for you to investigate what happened to that copy. And I think Emma's the one bringing that, right? And she'll tell you, we gave you that copy.
Ursula said she made copies.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking her. I said, oh.
So where did it go to? We wouldn't take our own, we had
Was that
the,
in August or September to August, right?
yeah. And like I said, you passed it, you all saw it on
Did
it.
you find it? No, I talked to John and John said it was passed on the table and he said Emma took it.
Yeah, don't look him out.
Not the copies.
No, not the copy.
But that's what,
Yeah, I wouldn't leave John.
that's why I asked him. I said there was a copy made and that it was given to you and
What was the point of the copies being made then if they were just gonna give it back to the person holding the original? That didn't make any sense.
well, that's the point I'm trying to say. But all I saw was the original one and they passed and they took it back.
Oh, yeah, the original one.
That's all I saw. There was no copy given.
He wanted a copy, so Ursula made him a copy and it was
Nonetheless,
passed around.
it's coming now, so you guys can have a copy of the petition.
But, and even at that, we didn't want to leave the original because some people stated, well, if I sign this, I'm not gonna get retaliated. I said, no, this is a new council. This is different people. It's the old council that used to.
Hold names and.
Hold names and hold actions against you. This is new council. They're open-minded and they'll listen.
We hope so.
And then, There's even people that work over there that wanted to sign it, but said, I want to sign it, but I can't because I work there and she might fire me. Or I'm gonna be retaliated against, or,
Copies missing.
when we stood at the store with that petition, they stopped by and they said that. We want to sign it, but we're gonna get retaliated against.
They were afraid of losing their job.
Yeah.
So someone, Mr. Chairman stated, what did he just say? About, Lori Minor, or you know what? Put me in there. I'll show you how to love and care about our community, and I live in the middle of the community, and I'm related to, proven through BIA, over 70% of this tribe. I'm half of my dad's side biological and half of my mother's side. Miss Minor, she wants to call people in here. He needs to get Nate Herman, because Nate Herman will sit there. He told her that exactly what he did and how he did it over there. The money wise, he knows, he won't lie neither.
Yeah, no, he won't.
But he'll be a good one. He'll show you and tell you exactly how he did it for them to get them, he said, on the right track. And Nate's pretty smart, and he's been working for a tribe for a long time.
He's so smart, he knows how to cover it.
And he doesn't even know he did that. Honest to God, he don't. You know what, I don't understand how this is such a big,
Why do we stick up for one person when the whole community don't want her here? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, there's people that,
and these are the people that,
Cody, yeah.
supposed to be worked for.
I'm like Cody, I have the same thoughts, but I mean, I just want to make sure if something's be done, make sure we do it right.
we need somebody that lives here, a native that will be willing to live in our community and see all this drug that we want to get rid of. Yeah, we should banish all these drug people, but look at who they're related to.
Yeah.
And we already tried. I know, that's what we're saying. That shouldn't matter. Right on, because shit, we know whose family does what.
Remember, Cody,
I
that
know them.
one of those first meetings, we talked about those qualifications. I said, well, no one runs against her because they ain't qualified. And we discussed how she's the one that implemented those qualifications with those grants. And those grants are brought up, Bessie brought up those grants, but I said, that's Judge Mueller wrote all those grants.
And she's just upkeeping them.
So
doing
if
her
she
job.
wrote them, why are they broke? She didn't write no grants. I know for a fact that Judge Mueller wrote those multi-million-dollar grants. And that's what she's been administering since he's been out.
I think she got a couple new ones.
Yeah.
But that's her job, to maintain her job.
It just blows my mind that this petition was just freaking misplaced and it's just vanished.
That's what I said. Well, I asked the chairman to look into that. Where did it go? We left.
All I remember your daughter Emma showing us that original one.
Yeah.
She said, this is the original one, but I'm not gonna leave it here, because the people on here are afraid of being retaliated against. So I looked at the first page of it, then I think we passed it around, and then she took it back. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember a copy or anything.
But then the chairman asked for copies, so.
First one, the copies, yeah.
Okay, because I never saw a copy. That's probably the only one that was showed in
Yeah, I
there.
guess that should have been,
But it does exist.
that should have been.
I never seen
It
it.
does exist.
You know what? This is how
You did see it. You said.
I mean, I saw the original. I didn't see the,
So it exists.
no, I mean,
do something good for our community as a whole, and you guys are supposed to be doing that too.
Right. We were voted in to represent our people. The petition is our people.
And it's been
And
going on
it's in
since.
our.
I said, remember, we're gonna do things right.
Right.
I don't wanna be bullied into something. I'm gonna do something if I'm make sure it's done right.
And that's what I'm saying too. It's in our constitution and bylaws. So that's my thing is, the people came in with this petition, it's in our constitution and bylaws how to go about executing the
Let's
petition.
do it that way then.
Yeah, that's what my motion is. That's what my
But
motion.
we need to see the petition. I mean, you guys need to see it. I know, and Jules didn't see it. I know he didn't
I've
see
never
it.
seen it either.
So look at it so they can verify these are all actual people.
I was provided a copy and I
But like I said, I'm not gonna argue with that because I didn't see the cops.
That sounds childish to be arguing over.
Is she bringing
Something
it up?
that we all.
Is Emma on her way?
she said Yes, we can wait for her. I mean, that's her kind of her job, right?
Look at how easily we're sitting here talking, oh, subleasing.
Right.
Illegal is all, even I know that that's illegal. And then here we are with everything,
The people's concern.
everything, our heart and our soul and our backing of the people. We could even get more names. Why are we having to fight with the council for you guys to understand what we want to have done?
You know,
That's how it feels.
it's not that, it's, you just wanna make sure we do it the right way. I mean,
Right.
if she's sitting there saying, follow the Constitution, we'll follow that and we'll do it that process. And I wish the tribal attorney was here, then he could have, you know, I think he did try to explain it last time, what we needed to do. But they told him not to be quiet, not to say nothing or something, if I remember right.
Because your words could be used on you or something like that.
So I feel that if we wanna do something,
Mr. Vice Chairman, can I speak since the chairman's gone?
Yes.
I'm just a bystander sitting here, kind of listening. I can't hear everything. And I don't want any ladies to get offended, okay? So I'm just asking, okay? I thought that, first of all, you guys got a motion on the floor. Can't continue to talk when there's a motion on the floor. You have to get a second. Secondly, I think correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. I thought the Constitution read you needed 1/3 of the enrolled members to pass a petition, not 1/3 of eligible voters.
30% of the qualified voters voting in the last regular tribal election.
But yeah, we made sure.
That's what I said. I stand corrected if I'm wrong. Okay? Just asking. But and then another thing, this may really offend people, but Judge Minor ran unopposed in the election.
Yep.
As you guys ran the election. There's a separation of powers, and I don't think you guys could remove her. So, as personnel manager, I'm advising you guys to get an attorney, get with your tribal manager and look into it before you do something that might be costly to the tribe.
Yeah, and we're not, and the motion on the table right now is not to remove her, it's to follow the procedure of the petition.
I know, but I'm just saying, all this talking, you're not supposed to do that with a motion on the floor. You gotta call for a second.
That's the sergeant of arms.
And then I'm not trying to start trouble with any of you or even you, Eunice.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's the
asking
sergeant of
and
arms'
saying.
job, right? That's the sergeant of arms' job to keep order.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
But I appreciate the council letting us speak, just like, you felt comfortable enough to come up and, I appreciate that. You guys hear us, and that's what I told the people. You guys are new council. You guys, you guys will listen to us and,
so your motion made to follow the Constitution on the 30% that's signed
Just
it.
how to execute the petition and how to carry out, I mean, if it was presented to us, let's follow the Constitution bylaws and how we execute that.
And
Do your job.
you're still bringing it up?
She does have 2 kids, so.
No, I mean, I know, I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, that I think they should all see it before they make a decision on it.
Yeah,
What's,
definitely.
excuse me, we're talking about Judge Minor here, but I'm still throwing Ellen Durkin out there. Cause I'm still saying the judge said she can't do her
Well,
job
that's
because of these people.
that's what the chairman.
Is she away? Yeah, we need a copy of it.
Come on, follow me.
Emma,
Follow her.
we made him a copy in that.
Yes, we did, and we passed it out to every council member too.
Yeah, see, it was left here, so I asked to.
They need a new secretary if they can't keep their copies of their stuff.
It should be signed, everything.
Well, no, the thing is, when, it should have been given to each council member. I made a copy, but, I mean, I don't have I can't afford a copy
That's
machine at home.
something everybody should look into is scanning. Secretary job to make sure that all the papers are accounted for in each program. We don't know how to do that. None of us know how. That's a whole different. But remember, Nate Herman. Susie, we're not in discussion with.
better speak quiet. We have to.
Wait till those guys get back in the room and I'll update you all. Rain coming already. It's like rain coming already. It's gonna be one cold football game.
Big show tonight.
Have that start, 7?
6.
I didn't know that.
I said I still gotta go home, pack and get on the road.
Taco sales.
Where are you going to eat?
The meeting.
Pray for you.
Yeah, that, when they have that, when they have that televised thing, maybe they could put the taco sales on there too. I missed like the last 3 taco sales and a burrito sale. I didn't see them on Facebook till, I don't get to it till late, till the kids go to bed.
I don't got them. Stay off of Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, Bailey won't either. She don't like that social, whatever. Sometimes it's handy. When you want to know something, it's on there.
You know, you don't, when you walk around the community, you don't even see kids. You don't see nobody. You just see the kids that can't afford phones or anything outside.
Get this to Lucille.
Yes.
We still, because we still have the motion on the table, can we pass these other 2 resolutions that you want right away?
Yeah, you just have to wait for her to come back to you. Also, just real quick update while I gotta wait for Faye to come back.
That she made copies already.
I went looking.
She said that.
I didn't find
copy of
it.
it.
So she forgot to give them to us then.
So John,
I didn't.
They were left here, and like I said, they passed it around. John took it.
Em, I remember you came and you showed us that deal, then you said, I'm not leaving this because I don't want people, don't want to be retaliated against. And I said, I looked at it briefly, then you took it back. That's the only paper I saw of it.
But we did make copies and leave them, so that's why I'm saying, a new
where's
secretary
that now?
or somebody that got the document better.
She needs a scanner.
She has.
Hey, that'd be cool, scanner.
All the secretaries should know how to use scanners, but they don't. Everybody sits on their phones. Sure, that's something we should be looking into. Making secretaries do their job.
I just called our tribal attorney on this issue to get more legal clarification on it. He said, right now, wait for that copy of that thing, get it the copy. And he said, you're welcome to call him and to refer it, the motion right now until he gets to review all the petition and do the legal research. He'll be back in next Wednesday, but he said, you're welcome to call him on this issue. And then we'll go from there and possibly, if not, address it. If we don't have another special meeting this month, it would be addressed in the November meeting. So
What does that mean?
to defer your motion right now without
Defer my motion?
without asking for a second until we get that petition copy so he can review it, go back and review on the process, the legal process on the banishment petitions, and do the research on it, and then come back with that, and he'll be back here next Wednesday.
Well,
Sounds like he's sick.
Can I address the council?
Yep.
We've been to this council meeting 4 times now on the same issue. There should be no, oh, we gotta go back and check, or, oh, we gotta go back and there should be no that after 4 times coming to you on the same issue.
Especially with the petition provided now, that's the people's choice.
It is under the treaty law, not the 30.
I just hope that.
Doesn't mean that they need it, even that.
They don't target the people around them.
It was my motion to do this, but now you're saying I can't make that motion.
No, I'm not saying you can't. I just said I defer on the motion right now to ask for a second until our attorney reviews these and the process on here, and then he comes back. And like I said, you can call him. I said, you're welcome, more than welcome to call him. He'll be back here on Wednesday.
So
Yeah.
a lawyer can stop the council? A lawyer's over a council?
No, but he's our legal advisor to make sure we do this, anything the right way. So, point of order, Okay, I'm not gonna argue, guys. I'm trying to do this the right way and making sure we're doing it the right way, okay? Please let me finish. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but.
I'm not either.
Okay, thank you. The thing is,
Did Rob rules the order that there's a deference on a motion?
that's what he said. There's called the defer. Or you can make your motion again, and I'll ask for a second. Nobody seconds it, then it dies. So if you want to restate your motion, you can.
Yeah, I make a motion to, what was the original motion?
It would be on the recorder.
Okay, so what, my motion was, I make a motion as a representative of the people of the Lower Sioux tribe who voted me to represent them. That presented us with this petition, that we follow our constitution and bylaws that we're here to do and execute the petition as according to the constitution.
Is there a second?
So, Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question real quick?
Yep.
So does this mean that we'll start like a proceeding hearing?
I don't know. I defer that question to the tribal attorney. You can call him, ask him.
It just means executing the petition according.
Okay, but hold on. We have a motion on our table, so second time I'll call for a second.
You guys want to go by the Constitution?
Third and final call for a second to her motion.
I will second her motion if we're starting the proceeding hearing.
Okay, got a second to her motion. Any discussion?
If it'll be to start a hearing, like a hearing process, that's what I agree to.
That's what. That guy's.
That wasn't her motion, but.
Is my understanding, that's what it was, right, to start.
Was it a hearing or to approve this to banish?
Follow the.
So to execute this, yes, and then this would just be to do the banishment right away without the process, right?
So is it the banishment or the hearing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Follow the Constitution, guys.
Let your sister talk, like,
Okay.
understand what she's saying.
Okay. Being voted into this position to represent the people of the Lower Sioux tribe. The people of the Lower Sioux tribe came to us under our democracy with a petition to remove the voting minor. Okay, I'm making a motion to execute this petition in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws, so we follow our duties as representatives of the Lower Sioux tribal members.
So my question is that you're asking to start like a hearing process.
Yeah, and whatever, start the process under our Constitution and bylaws to execute.
So that's my understanding of it, is that we would have some of these people come in to testify what actually done.
What if the Constitution and bylaws says that.
And they would actually, and then we'd have to hear everything from them, and then we'd actually would sit with the judge and question her about this stuff.
No, the Constitution and bylaws says, well, then it tells in the Constitution and bylaws how to carry it out. It outlines it right here. So, I mean, I guess I'm just saying, let's follow the Constitution and bylaws, listen to the people, and act on this petition.
So what you're asking, if I second this, what you're asking, if this just off for this, then it should be done.
To go through the proper procedure, if the procedure.
I mean, reason I'm asking, because you got the allegation up here of authority of embezzling, willfully misplaced. I mean, I'm assuming that you're accusing her, you want her fired because you're accusing her of embezzling.
No, the people came to us with this petition, they signed a petition for removal. So let's figure out how to execute this position according to the Constitution and bylaws.
And that's what your lawyer said last time. So, yeah.
Because I would like to have these people come forward to the council and give us testimony, how they felt they were, whatever, mistreated or not given, or treated badly. I mean, what I'm reading at the top here is because you want us to do this because of you're basically saying she's embezzling, willfully misapplying, stealing, obtaining fraud. And I think Cody discussed that already, that there wasn't really enough evidence of that. So I think I'm, with all these people signing this, I would love to hear them come up here and tell us what they felt, how they were mistreated by the judge. That's what I would like to hear.
So that's part of carrying out the process of filing the petition then?
Well, I mean.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, there's a motion and a second on the table.
Point of order. Okay. Any more discussion? Yeah, otherwise it goes on to Chris. Hold on, Lanty.
I just think we need to get more advice from our tribal attorney before.
Bystander representing, some elders, me as an elder. This is my experience. This is the third, petition on Judge Minor. For the last one that was presented, they required testimonies of so much percent of the people that signed the petition. You cannot go and just throw a paper and say, I want this person, this executed, this person removed, because you don't know for sure if those are the original signatures. I don't want to sign somebody else's, no? So you need the testimonies of those ones that signed them come in and.
Yeah, and if that's part of the process of Constitution and bylaws, then so be it.
This is the third position.
That says something in itself. That says something in itself.
They failed to bring in their people testimonies. That's how their petitions
I
they go through.
testify, you heard my testimony already.
Scared of being targeted. Well, they shouldn't be scared of this board. The other one has counsel. They threatened them. But this board ain't going to.
Okay, thank you.
Right on.
Discussion. Is this still going to a vote? So discussion, any more discussion?
For me?
Yes, we're going around in order, sorry.
Okay, no, like I said, I was voted here by the people. We are a democracy. The people voted me here to represent them, and this is people's signatures that are part of our tribe. And act on the petition because it was presented. And I'm here to uphold, like you said, I was sworn in on the Constitution and bylaws. I need to uphold what it says in the Constitution and bylaws when I'm presented with this petition. That, okay, let's follow it then and let's see how to carry that out, execute it. I don't even know like what this hearing thing is. It doesn't say anything in here about a hearing, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, let's follow the Constitution and bylaws that the people present us with this petition. And I'm here to represent people.
Okay, thank you. Jewel?
No.
Cody, discussion. Okay, call for the vote. Marvin?
I'm still, I know I second him, I don't know. I don't know what the process would be, Mr. Chairman, I mean.
Give them that paper.
I know, but hang on, I'm asking.
That's why I contacted the tribal attorney and he said, let him review the petition, let him review this again on the Constitution bylaws and the election ordinance regarding all these issues. And I can get back to you. And if any of you had questions, he said, you're more than welcome to call him and he will be in office on Wednesday. But there was a motion on the table. So that's where we're at.
I'm gonna withdraw my motion second.
Okay, we gotta withdraw.
Not even, people, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I speak to Randy. Get Randy to get this.
I guess the Constitution holds no water here.
Have a withdrawal of a second to the motion. We'll table this matter, come back to it after concurrence, our conference with our tribal attorney. Doesn't say this issue is dead or not valid still, but we'll let this return and then he can give this explanation to the whole body. And like I said, he said you're more than welcome to call him. So please call him. 605-222-8877.
877.
Does that make it where I have to do another motion again at a later date or?
Yeah, your motion.
No, the next meeting, when we come back is we can.
They don't want to follow the Constitution.
Okay, we got two more things to pass here real quick.
Thank you all. Thank you for your time.
For the members of the South Dakota Housing for Homeless Consortium. And I'll have Randy review this to take a look at it. But in the meantime, if we can approve it pending approval, it can help our community.
I'm not, look, I don't fraud that.
Entertain a motion to approve this.
A second.
Got a motion by Mark. Yep. Second by Chris. Any discussion, Mark?
It's your grandkids.
Any discussion? Any discussion on this? The Housing Consortium?
What?
We're on the Housing Consortium?
Didn't you say that we have to wait?
Yeah, so we can approve it pending approval from the, this is for the Housing Consortium, homeless.
You said we have to wait because.
We can approve it pending, his approval on it, but for more or less, I sent it to him by email, so. But that way we don't have to come back in and meet on this one again.
If you know, care, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Okay, we're on discussion, so. Jill, Cody? Call for the vote, Marvin? Chris? Haley? Jill? Cody? Motion carries 5-0 against, none not voting. On this before you, Lord Pursuit Tribe Environmental Protection Office. You have, it's going to be 3 separate resolutions to requesting tribal legislators to accept the following funds of the PL 93-638 from the Bureau of Indian Affairs for the following: water resources and integrated management plan, the steam flow gauging, and the Great Plains Tribal Water Alliance. It's all in your packet. We'll do them separately, do it the right way.
Make a motion.
So I got a motion by Cody to approve the first one. The Water Resource Integrated Management Plan for $75,000. Motion by Cody, second by Chris. Any discussion, Marvin?
No.
Chris?
No.
Bailey?
We're giving her $75,000?
No, this is the program. Goes to the program.
Oh, yeah. Also, the BIA is gonna give her the money?
Yeah, see if you go underneath that total and it gives you there's a paragraph with the order of the expedite the obligation of these funds to a 638 contract. Suggest you get a tribal council resolution in favor of these projects and accepting the funds. So they can start the process.
But it's not coming from our general fund, it's coming from.
No, these are all different stuff. Cool. Discussion? No. All for the vote, Marvin? Haley?
Not voting,
You vote with or without?
not voting.
So without, going without?
I don't know.
There's
You can vote against. You can vote for it, against it, not vote, or abstain.
Or she can go say my vote, not voting, but my vote can either go with the majority or it's not to be used, is the way it was explained to me, so.
I'm just not voting.
Okay, so that's a no.
I haven't got a chance to read through it, so. 4.
Okay. Voting?
No.
No?
Or what? What are we doing?
We're voting.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-4. One not voting with their vote not counting. Number 2, the stream flow gauging.
I'll make a motion.
$34,570. Got a motion on it
Second.
by Cody, a second by Chris. Any discussion, Marvin?
No.
Chris?
No.
Bailey?
I'm sorry, but I'm not voting. I don't support this.
No, I understand. That's your choice.
I mean, I'm trying to be
It's your choice.
conflicting. I just don't know enough about it to vote on it is all. Okay? So that's why I'm doing it. That's all.
Bill?
No discussion.
Okay. Call for the vote, Marvin?
For.
Chris? Bailey?
Not voting.
Okay. Jill?
4.
Motion carries 4-4, one not voting. The
Make a motion for
Great Plains
number
Water
3.
Travel Alliance, $6,000. Got a motion on the floor by Cody,